The Zarlequan Indieverse. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Indie Artist Spotlight. I'm your host, Brittani Starr, and today we'll explore music that captivates audiences with its heartfelt lyrics and mesmerizing melodies. Get ready to embark on a journey through these soulful tunes and discover the magic behind Brian Strand's musical prowess. Let's dive in and experience the tunes crafted by this exceptional indie artist. Joining us from Sacramento, California, please welcome the incredibly talented Brian Strand to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I discovered you in a group on Facebook, funny enough, and then I started listening to your music, and my son started listening to your music, and
Cool.
his favorite, what was it? Not Good Enough? Is that? Yeah, that was his favorite. He's like, oh, get him to play that song.
I can't, that one's actually difficult to perform because it's got a big piano lead. I do it. I can do it acoustic. But it's really driven by the bass and guitar, or bass and piano. So it's a very different thing, acoustic. Yeah, I perform with backing tracks sometimes too.
That makes sense,
as
yeah.
well. So yeah. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So are you out playing live for audiences?
Yeah, when I can. Sacramento's a funny market. It used to have a lot of venues, and then they just kind of went away in the 2000s, early to mid 2000s, and now there's a lot of taverns and microbreweries and stuff where you can play, but they want you to play for like 3 hours, and I don't know if I have the lung capacity to do that. So I do my best, but yeah, it's a little tricky.
Do you like recording and releasing it to the public that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think actually when I started this journey, this solo artist thing, I really wanted to become a songwriter and work with artists, not be an artist, but like work with them. And this is all kind of during the pandemic, maybe a year before, but this journey really started then. And I compiled so much music in such a short amount of time, and I was just recording things. I was listening to it like, I should just start putting this out. I need to start making a name for myself somehow. So, thus the solo career was launched.
What is your main instrument, and how long have you been playing?
I'd say my preferred instrument is guitar, and acoustic it's friendly in a house full of people, children and stuff. I have like a big guitar stack and all that, but yeah, that doesn't get much play anymore. I started on drums when I was young, like in the school band. I did that for a few years, and then I got a drum set, played in a punk band, played in like a reggae kind of band, and I remember watching the guitar player play, and I was like watching his hand positions and stuff. I'm like, I want to write music, like I want to contribute something beyond just a rhythm. And so I picked up a guitar and spent like a summer learning 2 chords and how hard to push the frets down, working on the calluses on the fingers, and yeah, and then started writing my own music, writing lyrics and really simple high school, stuff at the time, and it just kept going.
Many years ago, I dated an upright bass player, and he used to put super glue on his fingers to get fake calluses so he didn't have to have real ones.
That's like a life hack. That's good to know. You can make a YouTube, you can make a TikTok about that. You should make a TikTok about that. That would be good to know. Information that should be shared.
My dad did it old school. He's a guitar player, and he started playing when he was a teenager, and he got real calluses. That's how he learned.
Yeah, same. And playing drums even more so. When you're first starting, people tend to grip the sticks really hard. And I remember just like along the inside of my pointer finger with just these terrible blisters, and on my thumbs, and and then those become calluses. But yeah, there were some awful times back then.
I don't think people realize how much goes into artistry. Even if it's something you're passionate about, even if you love it, there's always something. Like I did hair for a while, and there's hair splinters. I didn't know that before I went to cosmetology school and started getting hair splinters. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Terrible. Like the hair would literally get stuck in your skin. You'd have to I'm like, who knew that was a thing? But you know what? Here's fun.
It's cool. They probably look like little Spider-Man, like the little grips that Spider-Man has.
I love it. That's funny. So, how many albums do you have out now?
So I'm actually the five I've put out. I put out 5 songs this year. They were all part of a 10-song album, is how I was looking at it. In today's world, artists don't really release albums unless they're like mega artists, and they don't have to release them to keep social media interest alive. So I learned pretty quickly. I put out some old music like within the last couple of years for a band I used to play in. Put the whole thing out, got like 200 listens like in a week, and then it's never been heard again. And it's like, oh, okay, that dies quickly. So I kind of used that as a lesson for putting this out. Started with one song, um, you know, pumped it up on social media, got the big spike of hits, and then it tails off. And then it was like, okay, put it on another one. And so actually, I'm working with a label on putting this record out. And so his game plan was to put out 5 singles and then the final 5 songs all at once. And as we're getting closer to the final 5, because now I've released 5, I'm like, let's keep doing this. I don't see why we would ever put out a bulk amount of music. I don't see the benefit. And so he's on board. So the next song, we were going to put out 5, I don't know, right around now. But now that we've kind of changed course and we're going to do singles, there's going to be 5 more single releases over the next 7 months, I guess. We do about 6 weeks apart
Nice.
per release. Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing the art yourself that's on the album or on the
Yeah.
covers?
So originally I was going to call it The Year That Got Away because I thought that was a cool name. And that was when I was writing everything. Everything was subject matter was very oriented to that. And then I pivoted, I don't know why, and called it Selfie was the name of the actual release now, which I guess no one really knows. I have a bunch of selfies of myself, but they're all singles. Someday when I put them all together into an album, it's going to be called Selfie. And that's why it's a selfie. It's 2 selfies I put together, and I have a couple Photoshop skills. Just made it work.
I totally understand that.
Reading tutorials and stuff,
You know what's funny is I was talking to, because I talk to a lot of authors, and I was talking to one, and she was saying how she really, now that she's written a book series, she's on book 3 now, and she's in the process of writing 4 and 5 to it. She wants to go back and rewrite book 1. She's like, the knowledge I have now is so different. Totally different.
So that's funny. Like similarly, I'm self-engineering this album. So I was writing all the music, recording it, and then going in and engineering it and making it sound, getting the levels right and the EQ and everything. And what I've learned from when I started recording to now, it's like I actually want to go ahead and re-put Tonight back out if you've listened to that song. The original version, the bass drum is really warm and it doesn't come through that way on the recording, which kind of bums me out when I hear it. And then the backing vocals are really kind of low in the mix, and they're supposed to be a lot. So there's just things where I'm like, I want to go re-release one of them I've already released now. So someday we'll do a remixed version or a remastered version or something.
I think of doing that too, except for I'm like, when do I find the time? Because I always come up with a new project.
Yeah, that's kind of that's part of the issue too. Is I tend to write a lot, and I always want to start something. It's hard to finish things because it's like I have a new idea, and so that's the shiny object right now, and so it's hard to like get myself back to like finish something.
Absolutely, I totally get that. Can you talk to us? So now I follow you on Facebook, and we've talked a little bit. Family is very important to you, and can you talk about their role in your music, how they play a role, and how supportive they are?
Sure. My wife Melissa, we've been together since we were in high school. We're high school sweethearts. Started dating the first week of our senior year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so we've been together 25 years, I think, this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So she's been part of my entire music journey. Like she's been here from the real crappy bands I've played in to there was a band in the early 2000s I played in that was like a hard rock band called Surefire. And that was like my passion. Like I loved that band. I loved the music. It was like Foo Fighters and Chevelle and just this really energy hard rock. Um, and that kind of fizzled in mid 2000s. And then I did drums and for a band for a few years, and then this. So she's been through the whole journey. I would say the solo project is her favorite. It's more poppy, it's more friendly. And my kids are big fans, and I don't know if that's forced on them. Maybe it's Stockholm syndrome. It's like it's like we get in the car and it's like, can we listen to Disney radio? I'm like, no, we're gonna listen to some daddy music today because I need to do my homework. I need to find out what I need to work on. But they pick out their favorites. They'll hear something. They'll give me like, they'll say, hey, can you play Stranger? And it's like, okay, they like Stranger. Can you play, whatever they tell me, it's like, okay, now I know that's what I should be working on. And so a lot of what I do is based on their feedback, like saying like, oh, I like this one, Dad. This one's really good. Why doesn't this have words yet? I can't think of anything. But yeah, it's they're very helpful and giving me critique feedback that it's very honest.
So when I'm making songs, my kids suddenly want to become songwriters too. They suddenly will be like, oh, if I'm making a music video, they're making a music video too. Do your kids do that? Have you made a song with them?
We played around with that a little bit. Like basically where I put a microphone in front of them and I play a beat and then they would kind of yell some some words. But they haven't really gotten into music making yet. They're 10 and 8. My older son is a sensational sketch artist, cartoonist. He is incredible. He's on the autism spectrum. And that's where he channels his talent. Like that's all he wants to do is draw. We're in the car. We go to restaurants and he takes this big old pad of paper in every time. And then the food shows up and he's like, Dad, can you hold this? I'm like, I guess I'm not eating.
You'll have to use some of that art on some of your music.
Oh, well, I really do. I really should do that. And I do want to do that. I haven't done it yet, but yeah, that would be awesome. And then my younger son is he's very athletic. He definitely is interested in music. He has rhythm, he has pitch, but he hasn't really settled down long enough to sit there and like figure something out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I don't want to like force that. I want him to find
it
his
should be
time.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell us what your website is and what social you are most active on?
Yeah, let me look up my website because it's got a stupid title to it. Hold on. I just didn't pay for the web domain yet, which I should do. All right, I have a Wix site, so let's see. I'm pulling it up right now. Oh shoot, I hit the wrong button. I swear I'll get it. Hold on. All right, so it's oh, this is a terrible band. This is a terrible website name. It's bstrand81.wixsite, WIXSIT.com/Brian Strand Music. Good luck remembering that. We'll like put it in the links. But yeah, smash that follow button. Yeah, you're gonna have to find a link for that. Really, Facebook is probably my most active right now. It wasn't, but for some reason in August, I decided to start using Facebook more for music. I think I had 50 followers, and just started getting in groups like you mentioned, and it blew up. Like,
oh, good.
My followers on Spotify shot up. I started making connections with people like, a guy who plays music in Germany and someone in Amsterdam and Spain and Brazil. It's crazy. There's just all these artists that I'm connecting with that have similar styles or similar interests in music. And, we just give each other shout outs on things that each other are doing. And it's a nice like affirmation that you're doing something and it's effective. So, yeah, that's Facebook would be at Brian Strand Music.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And so we're going to, at the end of this video, we're going to connect your video.
Cool.
And can you talk about that song, Not Good Enough?
Sure.
And tell where that came from. So introduce it a little bit so we can.
Sure. Not Good Enough. So I was doing the dishes one night, and as happens with creativity, like it just strikes and you're not expecting it, and then you have to do something with it or it goes away. And so I'm sitting there doing the dishes, and I start singing this ba 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 ba, and I just kind of kept looping that in my head, and I'm like, I gotta go do something real quick. Ran upstairs to my little studio, my keyboard, and just figured out that little melody, and that's where that ended that night. And then, within that week, I started playing around with it more, added the little guitar, added the bass line. It had a really mellow drum line originally, so it wasn't as alive. And then I think the vocal melody popped in one day. So normally when I do vocals, if I don't have lyrics, it's just like I'm scatting. So it's like na 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 and so that eventually, at some point, I said, I care about what people say. It's like, well, that's kind of neat, because I do. I'm like, I don't know. I think like many artists, I have a lot of insecurities about like, is what I'm doing good? Is it good enough? And so that is literally the song. I mean, the song was just like a straight story that is going on in my head almost every time I'm writing something. So that's kind of the gist of it. And then I put the heavier drum beat on it, and it really popped. It came alive.
That's awesome. That's funny. I think that we all think that, especially with creativity or our creative endeavors, it's like, oh my gosh, is this good enough? Is it stupid? Like, what did I just do? And so then sharing that with people, because that is such your innermost soul, like that you're actually just like being so vulnerable to share with people. That's hard. I always say my stuff, I'm not talented, but I'm passionate and driven.
That's awesome.
That's what I would say. I'm like, I do my stuff, but I don't imagine that I have like this amazing talent. I've seen people do some amazing thing with phones. Like I've done some phone videos. They don't look as good as those people.
Yeah, sure.
But it's fun.
I feel the same way often. I'm like, is this it? Like, am I done with the song? Oh, is that going to be good? Are people going to like it? And then show it to someone, and they're like, dude, this is awesome. Really? Oh, cool. Okay. I'm on the right track.
Right.
I'm hearing my this gardener guy. I don't know if you're picking it up on your side, but I hope it doesn't mess everything up.
I don't hear anything over there, but
Okay, good.
I have dogs barking. So, but
No
I think we're about done. My computer died, so I think.
Oh no.
At least I have the camera still going. So.
Okay, good.
I appreciate you coming on today, especially the day before Thanksgiving. That's got to be hectic, especially with the family. So I appreciate it. I know we wanted to connect that last time, but
That was on me. That was on me. I'm sorry.
And I would have normally, gone, okay, yeah, I'll take the extra time. But that I happened to have to run to the school for both my kids had events at the school. And so it was a big. Yeah, so we were running. They were waiting for me to run to the car, and I'm like, ah.
No, that's all good.
But I'm glad we got to connect now. So thank you for being on today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this, and it's awesome to connect.
Yes, I love sharing music. So right now, go to the end of the screen and you will see the video. Click on it or it will automatically play depending on your settings. And there will also be links in the description box below. So go subscribe to Brian Strand. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Are you an independent filmmaker or aspiring creator with a passion for storytelling? Imagine joining forces with like-minded visionaries to create something extraordinary. Introducing Film Fusion Unite the Vision, a groundbreaking cinematic collaboration like no other. 9 individuals or groups contributing a 10-minute segment coming together to craft a full-length cinematic masterpiece. Collaboration brings innovation, the meeting of minds, a fusion of talents, and a chance to learn, grow, and inspire. Here's how it works. 9 individuals or groups, each with their own unique style and storytelling, come together to embark on a collective journey. Each contributor creates a 10-minute segment that fits within the overarching narrative. These segments combine seamlessly, forming a cohesive and unforgettable full-length movie. When you join Film Fusion Unite the Vision, you get more than just a segment in a film. You get a platform to shine. You'll experience networking, learning, and a chance to build your creative portfolio. Are you ready to unite your vision with others, creating a cinematic masterpiece? Don't miss this opportunity. Join Film Fusion Unite the Vision and be part of something extraordinary. Let's unite, let's create, and let's inspire the world with our stories. Together, we are Film Fusion. Unite the Vision.
The Zarlequan Indieverse.